workspace allows you to separate your state of infrastructure without changing anything in your code when you wanted the same exact code base to deploy to multiple environments without overlap. Let me elaborate, let me clarify this particular statement. What it says, it allows you to separate your state and infrastructure without changing anything in your code when you wanted the same exact code base to deploy to multiple environments. Suppose you have written the code and you want to execute the same code for development environment, for testing environment, for production environment, right? You don't have to write this code again and again for all the environments. So what you can do, using this workspace, you can write the same code but can be executed with multiple in the multiple environments. Because see what happens for dev might be you need T2 small or T2 micro. For testing you may need T2 nano or T2 small, but production you may need to T2 large. So for instance time, I'm just giving one small example for instance type. For that, you have to, what you have to do, you have to change the infrastructure code, right? The TF files for all environments in order to pass the parameters there, right? The value. But using the workspace, we can, within the same code, we can execute for different environments. So what happens here? Workspace helps to create multiple state files to set up same Terraform configuration file. Each of environments require separate state files to avoid collision. Right? So the collision, before avoiding the collision, what will happen here? The Terraform, if you are using workspace, it will segregate, it will separate all your state file. Because in Terraform state file, understanding state file is most important. I always tell, right? So you have to understand the state file. With the use of workspaces, you can prepend the workspace name, the path to the state file, ensuring each workspace or environment has its own state. So let's see this one in example. Use cases. One of the use cases I just told you, right? So multiple environments, suppose we have production, testing or development, staging or development. Multiple regions, suppose you are going to create the code for, these are the use cases where you can use this workspace. Multiple region, you have to deploy the same environment. Like one is the production, one will be the your disaster server, DR server, right? Multiple accounts. Okay, and for testing and researches, you just have to use the workspace. Okay, here is a small example or diagram. So if we just see here, right, I've just prepared this particular diagram to make you understand clearly. Let's make it a slide slow. It has some graphics content. So here what happened, we have this Terraform configurations file we have written. Suppose we have data source, we have output, variables, Terraform variables, main file and providers, backend, everything we have. And we are the DevOps engineer who has written this Terraform configuration file. So what happened here? In the workspace, right, for development, we have to simply use the workspace. Whatever things will be code written, it will have environment for development resources, it will have for staging resources, it will have the state file for production environment also. So what will happen for development, we'll have a development TF state file. Suppose you have created 3 workspaces, the name is dev, staging and prod for production. So what will do, based on your work, it will create 3 different state files. So there will be no collision between the environment, between the infrastructure, right? So you have to write only one Terraform configuration code, and that can be worked on multiple environments. Okay, that is the workspace, and you may need more details. Okay, let's go for the examples here. How to create? I'll show you the commands. What are the commands you have to use to create? Okay, so Here, few commands. Let me just go here. That is a command called Terraform Workspace. Let's use -h that for help, right? So what we'll do, these are the sub commands. Terraform Workspace, new to create new workspace. Guys, remember, when you just going to get the certifications or going to give exam on Terraform, they might ask you what is the command to create workspace in Terraform, right? So you don't tell like Terraform workspace and create. It will be Terraform workspace new. So it will create a new workspace. To view all the workspaces, select one, and list and show. There is a confusion here. To show means show which current workspace you are in. Which current workspace you are in. So if I just use Terraform, right, workspace list. So we have only one workspaces. We have not created many. Okay. Now here is the example here, right? Okay. Let me just go ahead and create one. The rest of the things I'll just keep it on the Terraform workspace new. Okay. Give it workspace name, suppose Dave. So created and switched to workspace Dave. Now if I see which workspace I am in, if I just do Terraform workspace, so I'm in Dave workspace. I'm in Dave workspace. Now if I just list it out here, see, let me just show you more. Let me create one more workspace. Suppose I'll add test. Okay. Now if I do Terraform works, it's a very big command to type workspace list. So we have now 3 test dev and 2 dot. Let me edit this c2.k file. Here I need to do some changes. Okay. First, let me just write the variable here. I can write variables in 4 different ways, right? I'm just going to write this variable here in the source file itself. Okay. So what I'm going to do? So here I'm just variable name. I'm going to give it as instance type, T capital instance type, anything as the variable name I gave it here. What I need, and this variable is to be mapped because I have to give multiple, I have to provide multiple values there, right? Key value pair I have to do. So type, let's keep it as map of any, right? Now what do we need? Default value will be, so default, under default, use default. If I am into default workspace, it will be t2 dot, suppose, nano. If I am into dev platform, let's make it as t2 dot micro. Okay. If I am into test environment, test workspace, I'm executing from test and workspace, it will be t2 small. Got it? 3 things I added here. So what changes I need to do? I just create a variable instance type. So I need to change something here. I need to change something, this instance type, this argument, right? This particular argument, I need to change it. So let's go ahead and put it here, this particular path. So what I need, remove it. So within the bracket, we have to put it, right? First, you have to use lookup command, lookup function. Lookup, within the lookup, what I need the variable, right? First, var dot, the name of the variable here, instance type, right? Instance type, comma, right? What I need which, I need this particular key, map key, right? Either default or dev or test. So how I'll get this one? Based on the Terraform workspace. So we have to write Terraform dot workspace. So what it will do, this particular parameter, this particular key or argument, what it will do, it will fetch your current workspace environment. It will fetch your current workspace environment. Okay. Now it is, let's save this one. Done. Okay. Let's see which workspace I am in currently now. What is the command? You have to use Terraform Workspace. So I'm into test workspace. So logically, if I execute Terraform plan, so which instance type should be selected? It should be selected T2 small. Let's see whether it is giving us T2 small or not. Let's go ahead and check. See, it gives us T2 small. I did not check. See, I wrote the code once only. But if I want to execute this same code for development environment, what I'll do, you can just change it to the Terraform, right? Workspace. What is the command to switch to different workspace? It is select, right? Select dev. See, I switched back to the dev workspace now, right? Now, if I just do Terraform plan, let's see, based on the dev key, the value was given T2 micro, right? Let's see whether it is giving T2 micro or not. See, it gives T2 micro. So what benefit you will get it from here, right? You have to write the code once for each environment. Every time you don't have to change if you're going to work for different environments, right? You have to just write the code once, the configuration file once, and based on the environment, based on the workspace you are working, either development, testing, or production, it will execute the code for you. To see the Terraform TF state file for workspace, it has created a folder called Terraform. See, this is a folder, right? So what it has created, it has just created a folder called Terraform tfstate.d. So if I just do cd, let's go to this folder and see, we have two other folders based on the environment, right? If I go to cd test, let's do ls-l. So all the state file will be kept it under the respective file. So in order to do a test, let's execute one of the. So I am currently into dev, right? So your dev workspace, right? Terraform workspace. So I'm into dev. Let's execute Terraform apply here. Terraform apply. Sorry, it is Terraform apply. What will happen? It will create the state file under the dev workspace dev folder, right? Let's execute quickly. Let's see how it is getting created. Okay. Workspace directory here, Terraform tf state directory, right? Go here. go to the dev directory, right? I'm into this particular folder, dev folder. Here there will be a tf state. See, this tf state is for dev workspace separately. The same thing, right? The same thing. Let me switch back to the test environment. Let me switch back to the test environment. Quick, let me quickly apply Terraform apply here. So now it is creating the. So what will happen? It will create another instance of T2 small, and the tf state file will be kept under the test workspace directory, and the test workspace directory. So just wait for a few seconds, let it complete. See, things are changes. Now if I just go to the directory, right? Dot d, sorry, Terraform tf state dot d. Then I go to test environment, test folder, will have, see, Terraform state file is created. And same thing, if I go to the dev, we'll have dev workspace also. It will have two different ones. Anything you have to do troubleshoot, you have to go to the respective workspace directory, and there you have to work with the tf state. Is it clear, guys? Now let me destroy those things whatever I created. So for okay, to view these things, right? Let's go ahead and just log into the server. See, these two instances have been created. One is the T2 small, which was given for test environment, and this T2 micro was given it for dev environment. All these two are now running. Okay, this is the way you have to segregate or separate your workspace or separate your work using workspace in Terraform.